Hello, Nick here, and gonna make another video today. Just sitting around the house, kind of bored on a Saturday, working on some stuff, waiting on some parts for my Enfield number 4 Mark 1 T. Otherwise I'd be out shooting that today. So if any of you know what that is, please post down below and tell me what you think of that. And if you don't know what it is, it'll take me 2 hours to explain it to you. So anyway, so today, or this morning, because I might make another one this afternoon, right now it's Rohde and Schwarz day. So as you can see, we've got the EK070 fired up, and we've got the EB200 fired up. And it's kind of early for shortwave and stuff. It's like close, just before noon Central Time, Dallas, Texas. And so obviously not the best for shortwave, but there's some, my favorite beacon is popping, and we'll check that out. And thanks to one of my viewers who really helped me out on how to zero in on CW signals if you're not lucky enough to have one of these little tuning lights, or if you're not lucky enough to have, you know, an incredible scope like this to know exactly where the beacons are. He said, you know, hey, there's ways to do it. And he showed me, he made a video on it. I'll see if I can figure out how to put like a link to his video in the description to this one. But I really appreciate his help. And the video he made for me was very, very helpful. Thank you again very much. So, all right, let's get started. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so we can get down into the meat and potatoes and see exactly what's going on here. Oh, before we start, so you see my switch down here. So I've got both of these radios headphone jack plugged into this two-way switch, plugged into this DSP speaker, but since the red light's on, that means no DSP. So we're just going to be running them without DSP, unless I get a bug up my butt, and maybe I'll flip the DSP on. But if you see me flipping the switch, the white cord is the top radio, the black cord is the bottom radio. Okay? So you can see the switch here. So right now we're on the black cord, the bottom radio. Bottom radio, top radio. All right? Because if I get on the same signal, I might just flip the switch and stop talking just so y'all can hear the difference or lack of a difference, which is what I'm noticing on a lot of signals, okay? Rohde is a roadie. So anyway, let's dig in. Oh, another thing I noticed, and you might want to pay attention if you're interested, a nerd like me. Both meters are set up to show dBUV. I have no idea what that means. I don't know what that is, okay? But the Rohde has this scale, and it also has this digital readout of the dBUV. Now, this is more sensitive because this only goes by increments of 5. So it has to round up or something. So typically this will read higher, all right? But this is also a dBUV, and you can see it, and then you can read the number down here in real time because I've got it set, the level set to fast. So it's not an average, it's not a peak, it's the actual number. So that's why it's changing and going so fast. When we get into like CW stuff, you'll see it'll go from like 0 to, you know, max. It'll, you know, almost hard to read. But anyway, if you're a nerd, you can kind of follow up on that too. All right. And as I'm pushing buttons on here, you'll be able to figure out what I'm doing. Bandwidth, up, down, mode. What else would I be monkeying with? I don't know. I'm probably just going to leave it on automatic gain because MGC off. So it's on AGC. But we'll see. This one also has a tuner. See that little tuner, that little bar up there? As I tune off, it moves off. All right. So this one has a tuner ID, tuner selector, whatever you got. This one is the same thing. Okay. It's that red LED. So if I tune, and it's very sensitive. So if I tune off, it jumps off. It's more realistic in CW. It does not work in SSB, actually. It works in CW and it works on AM. This one works on AM, and I don't think it works on CW, but we'll find that out. So, our switch is set for the bottom radio.
Por favor, para ir cerrando. Si me quedo con esta última idea que nos acaba de plantear Olga, me encantó estar ante el sagrario. Ir a la fuente del amor me parece lo más bello. Tener claro que de dónde voy a poder tomar la fuerza para aceptar y amar al otro, solo del único que nos ha enseñado cómo hacerlo, en Cristo Jesús. Me encantó eso. Gracias, Olga.
Muy bien, qué bonito. Sí, qué bonito esa parte de que...
los agrarios solos.
Ajá, por favor, y sobre todo, yo invito a los varones porque creo que es a los que más les da así como que penita, ¿no? Ay, ¿qué van a decir mis amigos si me ven ahí orando ante el sagrario y pidiéndole y ofrendándole mi amor y diciéndole al Señor, Señor, me cuesta?
So it's like I'm flipping this switch and it's not doing anything, but that's because both radios are pretty much identical. All right, so we'll leave it on the top. We'll leave it on the white cable, which is the top radio. Let's go up and tune on this thing. All right. So there was a very weak signal at 12.095. Bottom radio, top radio. Pay attention to the dBu numbers and compare the meters and let me know what you think. Bottom radio, top radio. Again, identical, no difference. I can't tell a difference. All right. Let's try, let's try that Maritime net. I think it's 14,300. And it's, I gotta switch mode up here. So we go to USB. Then I switch my bandwidth. Look at all my bandwidths. This thing has a lot of bandwidths. So we'll put it on 2.4. All right. Top radio. Bottom radio. Top. Bottom. All right, so we're listening to the, all right, now I'm on the top radio, but I don't see a, oh, maybe, oh, there it goes. MGC off, MGC 20, MGC, manual gain control off, manual gain control 20. Oh. All right. I don't know what that means. I'm thinking I'm trying to adjust it between fast and slow AGC. All right, so that's manual gain control. Oh, that's the RF gain. Okay, that's what I'm doing right there. When it's off, that means I'm on automatic gain control. But I can only adjust it when it's on manual, so when it's on off. So now I'm trying to figure out how I can switch between fast and slow AGC. I don't know. No. This one came with a really confusing manual. I mean, really, really hard to understand. Level is for the meter. Okay. AFC is AFC. Auto. Attenuation, maybe that's for the attenuation. Oh, it is. Okay. Attenuation off. All right. AFC off. Level is for the meter. 28. I don't know what the hell that is. Level tone. Maybe it only has one AGC setting, but I find that hard to believe with a Rohde and Schwarz. Frequency, memories. I've been through because I wanted to set the BFO for when I get to CFW so that they both sound identical. And then I also looked through all the menus here. All these menus took me 20 minutes to look through every single one, and I didn't see something that said AGC. Okay, so I don't know. All right, so we're just going to have to roll with what we got here. All right, let me turn this back up. You hear how it's coming in and going out? But when I put it on the bottom radio, it's still doing it, but it's mellowed. All right, so when I put it on fast AGC, notice how it stopped? Watch. So we're on the bottom radio. Watch when I put it on slow. Listen. Fast AGC. All right. Now we're on the top radio. Well, this guy's a blowtorch. Only the weak guys are going to have that in and out. And I don't know what the hell that means. Wow, that sounds nice. Bottom radio. Top radio. You get some attenuation. Bottom radio. Bottom radio does have a manual gain control, so let's mess with it. Okay, again, we're on this radio. So I'm messing with this stuff. I guess I can be dangerous when I'm starting messing with that because I'm not sure I really know what I'm doing. Let me turn the manual gain off. Let's put it back on. Okay, now we're on the top radio. Notice how the tuning selector's not working here. See, it's not even lit up on this one. So the tuning selectors don't work in sideband. But they both sound good. This one only has a 2.3 filter. This one obviously has 4 billion filters. Now, they're widely spaced, so they're not optimum.
We'll get it out to you, but we don't do it on a voluntary basis anymore. This is Mr. Alpha 6 Foxtrot Hotel. Do we have any space with emergency?
We're on this radio, top radio. Tuning selector doesn't work on CW either. I know the signal's on 070 because I checked it on the FTDX 101. Let's drop the bandwidth all the way. 150 hertz. Okay. Now, notice this radio has the tuning indicator for CW. So watch, let's look closely. I'm going to switch. So now we're on the bottom. Now we're on this radio. Now I'm going to go to the smallest bandwidth. You can read the bandwidth on the bottom of the key. See BW? 150 hertz. Now, you can see my hand over here. We're on 10 hertz, the finest tuning that this one can do. See, when you get the tone, you get the dot on center. The line to the left is a fake out. All right, it's that triangular red thing that's the signal. And see, that's pretty much spot on. But now when I move it, see when it beeps, we're 1 or 2 positions to the right of the center hash. I come back to 07, and when it flashes, look, we're money, we're right on. Go the other way. Okay. So this one does have the tuning indicator for CW. The top radio does not. So anyway, let me shut up and let you listen, and I'm going to flip between these two radios. They're both on 150 hertz. We're on the bottom radio. Top. Trying to get the volume same. Bottom radio. Top radio. Damn, that EB200 sounds sweet. I typically don't like the tone with a BFO at 900 or 0.9. I like it lower. It's better to. I mean, that's a personal thing. I like it to my ears. It sounds better. Oh, we're on the wrong radio. There. Hear the difference? I like that 07. I like the 07 or the 0.700 or 0.7, whatever you want to call it. But when I switch back to the top radio, you can tell the tone is higher, but I can't adjust it, or I can't figure out how to adjust it. There might be an adjustment in there. So it sounds like the BFO is at least 800 on the top radio, 0.8. Might be 850. So I'm going to put this on 900. I'm going to switch. So we're on the top radio. Now I'm going to come to the bottom radio when the signal starts. I'm going to go to 8. Wait for the signal to start. Top radio. Bottom radio. So this still sounds like a lower tone. Bottom radio, top radio, bottom. Bottom radio, top radio. We're on the top radio. Bottom radio. Top. Man, that sounds pretty close. Top radio. Top. Bottom. We're on the bottom radio. I don't like it that high. Bottom radio. Top. All right. My observations. Not that they're worth anything, but they're my radios, so I get to observe. The EB sounds awesome on this particular CW signal, on this beacon. N5TIT, I think. It's either N5TIT or N5T1T, I can't remember. And it's advertised at 28.209, 0.000, but it's always coming in at either at 0.070 or 0.080. It's up in that range. And I test that on FTDX 101. And the ICOM 9500 too. And the ICOM 8600 and the Kenwood 890, they all confirm that this thing is either running between 070 and 080. But the EB200 really, really sounds sweet. The EB200's newer than the bottom radio. This radio was made in the 80s. This one was probably, I think this one was put out of service in the early 2000s. I can't remember exactly. But I know that because I called Rohde and Schwarz up to see if I could get a manual that I could understand for that radio. And the dude's like, I actually talked to the national service manager, and he's like, because he's, he called me back personally, and he's like, sir, I want to at least try to offer some assistance. He says, but that radio's been out of service for so long, we don't have any support at all for it. I don't have anything I can send you. No manuals, no parts, nothing, zero. And he said, but I can tell you that the radio that replaced it, and I forgot the model number. He says, the radio that replaced it, you could buy it right now, and it costs $50,000. I'm like, dang. So this must be a pretty decent radio, or at least a halfway decent radio. Came in a nice, like a Samsonite suitcase, little briefcase thing with compartments for all different kinds of stuff. I've shown it before. I have a video on this radio, and I showed this briefcase for it and all that other stuff. It's got a battery. See, it's sitting on this like a desk module or like a whatever, and it's got 2 batteries in it. And you can unhook it from that too. And then it's also, right now I've got running on a wall wart power. It's got a power, whatever you call that thing, power charger or whatever, to the wall, plugs into the house. And but I've shown this radio before in its own video, so if you're really interested in it, you can go back and look at it, a long video on it. But between these 2 radios, I mean, everything so far has been pretty much identical except this CW signal. I don't know if it's the filter or what, but this CW tone at 150 hertz, I mean, this one's good, very good. This one is incredible. Now, I haven't compared this to any of the other radios yet, but yeah, it's that particular CW tone sounds great. And when I was on 14.300 before, in my opinion, they were pretty much about the same. That pulsing on the weaker guys when they were talking was weird. This one seemed to do it less. Plus, this one has an easy option for either fast or slow AGC. This one, if it even has a fast or slow AGC, it's buried in the thing somewhere. I have no idea how to get to it. Although you can turn to manual gain and then adjust it. And so, but you heard we were able to get a very, very, very nice report out of it. This one has a few more filter options than this one. So this is one of those radios where every filter in the radio is usable on any mode. Whereas on this one, once you click SSB, whether it's LSB or USB, you're married to one filter only, 2.3 kilohertz. Let's see what else. Like I said, they both have very nice responsive meters. This one has an adjustable BFO. I can't find a BFO on this one. So I'm I'm trying to match the tones, and it seems to be somewhere between 900 and 1,000 up here. So 950, 1,000, something like that. My gunshot worn ears are, hey, I don't know what the hell to tell you. But this one gives you also the tuning indicator in CW. This tuning indicator only works in AM and FM too. Oh, that's right. This radio is also a DC to daylight radio. It goes from like 001 hertz to like 4 billion gigahertz, okay? It does everything. And but you got to have antennas for all those other signals, right? So right now, they're both on the same Wellbrook antenna. Okay, this one has the easy to get to jack is the front jack. There is a jack in the back, and I've shown it before on the other video. It's like I think it's an SMA connector on the back or something like that. But this is the easy one to get to. But like some radios that have that wide of a spread will have multiple antenna connectors for the different types of antennas, and then automatically select the correct antenna for range you're in, the frequency range. Like the EK070 does that. The 9500 does that. But this one does not. It only has one connector on the front and one on the back, and they both do the same thing. So if you want to switch to UHF or VHF, you have to unhook this and put a different antenna on it. What I used to do when I used this for VHF is I'd put a little two-way switch, and I'd have the two antennas coming in, a HF and a UHF VHF, and then I could flip that. Anyway, no, they both sound very nice. Oh, before we bail out, let's check some Longwave beacons. My favorite NDBs, non-directional beacons. All right, AM. Let's go with a nice small bandwidth, like 3. Dang, is my radio broken? Don't tell me they turned this beacon off on me. They're turning all the other ones off. They're taking the AM radios out of cars nowadays, too. Well, electric vehicles can't even run AM radios because all RFI. Yeah, that beacon's gone. Well, unless it's just a really bad time of day. Let's try some of the other ones. There's a 340. It's there. It was either 340 or 341. Must be 341 because this is happy over there, and if I turn it to 340, it's much less happy. See that? All right. You can see this thing bouncing with the signal, even though we're on the top radio. All right, let's bottom radio. I didn't change the volume on either radio. This is much louder here. So why some radios change their audio output when you get into a different frequency range, I don't understand that unless it's because something's worn out on one of the other radios. That's my only guess. Or maybe it's something to do with the sensitivity in that frequency range. Again, but that could be something about being worn out, right? It might need to be aligned. It might need a different resistor or capacitor. I don't know, because remember, these suckers are 40 years old. Well, this one could be 40. This one's probably only 20. The top radio is probably only 25 years old. We're on the bottom radio. Let's go up to 350. Well, let's go back to the top radio. All right, so the top radio is on 2.4 kilohertz. Now it's on 6 kilohertz. I don't have anything between there. This radio's on 3 kilohertz. Let's drop it down another one. Next one is, it's 1.5. Really didn't change. Oh, those filters might not even work on AM. I never even thought of that. Even though it displays it? Maybe. I don't know. I'm just guessing here. Oh, you know what? I'm an idiot. I was on the wrong radio. We're on the bottom radio now. There we go. 1.5 kilohertz. Three kilohertz. Yeah, I'm an idiot. Sometimes I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Or most of the time, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. All right, top radio. So both coming in nice. I mean, they're both getting it. Oh, let's try 350. All right, so we're on the top radio. Let's go up to 350. So let me so you guys can see it. $349, not happy. 351, not happy. 350, happy. But I'm getting a little bleeding voice in the background, which is not uncommon here in my area. Let's go. Now we're on the bottom radio. Less of the bleeding voice, but I can still kind of hear it. So there's a signal there. We're on the bottom radio. Top radio. Bottom radio. I can hear it a little bit on each one. So I can hear it a little bit on each one. Let's see, what else do you want to listen to? We've listened to some both Weak and Strong AM. We listened to SSB. We listened to 28 megahertz beacon, and we listened to Longwave, and we're at 37 minutes. So that was fun. I enjoyed it. They're both badass radios. Yes, they are. I just wish this one was bigger. I like big radios. 19-inch rack mount, okay? Yeah, little radios are for little guys. I'm 6'7", okay? I like big radios. So, make me an offer. Trade me a big radio for that top one. What else? That's about it, I guess. I'll probably get motivated to do another video this afternoon because, like I said, I'm waiting on parts for the Enfield number 4 Mark 1T. So, that's it. All right. Y'all be cool.